welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History. I'm Claire Ridgway. I'm sure you know that by now. I'm founder of the Tudor Society website and also the Anne Boleyn Files website, and I've also written quite a few Tudor history books. Now, on this day in Tudor history, the 8th of April 1554, a cat dressed as a priest was found hanged on the gallows in Cheapside in London. Now, I wrote about this event a few years ago on the Anne Boleyn Files website, so what I'm sharing with you today is based on that article that I wrote. So let me tell you more about this cat. Now, John Stow, who was a 16th century English historian, gave an account of this event in his book Annals of England to 1603. This is what he wrote. The same 8th of April, being then Sunday, a cat with her head shorn and the likeness of a vestment cast over her, with her 4 feet tied together and a round piece of paper like a singing cake, which is a consecrated wafer, betwixt them, was hanged on a gallows in Cheap, near to the cross, in the parish of St. Matthew. Which cat, being taken down, was carried to the Bishop of London, and he caused the same to be showed at Paul's Cross by the preacher D. Pendleton. Might be Dr. Pendleton. Contemporary diarist and merchant tailor of London, so a man that lived in London, Harry Machyn, also corroborates Stow's account. He simply said, "On the same day, somebody unknown hanged a cat on the gallows beside the cross in Cheap, habited in a garment like to that the priest wore that said mass. She had a shaven crown, and in her 4 feet," and 4 meaning front feet, "held a piece of paper made round, representing the wafer." Now, what on earth was the purpose of this awful display? Now, when I've written about this in the past, people have got very upset about this, this poor cat being hanged, being displayed like this. Well, Julie Crawford points out in Marvellous Protestantism, Monstrous Births in Post-Reformation England, that the motivations behind the hanging were undoubtedly contempt for Catholic or Popish garments and those who wore them, and the desire to make a spectacular comment on the contemporaneous controversy over the symbolic or mystical nature of the communion wafer, here rendered as a flat, inanimate piece of paper in clear representation of the cat killer's Protestant views. Now, 1554 was, of course, the second year of Catholic Queen Mary I's reign, and Parliament had already passed the first Statute of Repeal, which had nullified the religious legislation that had been passed in her half-brother, King Edward VI's Protestant reign. And it had also begun the steps of restoring the church in England to the Church of Rome. So this hanging of the cat was an act of rebellion, an act of defiance against Mary repealing all of the, the religious measures, the Protestant religious measures of Edward VI's reign. And because this was an act of rebellion, Mary and her government needed to take action on this cat being hanged this way. And in martyrologist John Fox's account of the hanging, he mentions Mary's reaction to the event. He writes, "The 8th of April, there was a cat hanged upon a gallows at the cross in Cheapside, apparelled like a priest ready to say mass, with a shaven crown. Her 2 forefeet were tied over her head, with a round paper like a wafer cake put between them, whereon arose great evil will against the city of London. For the Queen and the bishops were very angry, and the same afternoon there was a proclamation issued that whosoever could bring forth the party that did hang up the cat should have 20 nobles, which was afterward increased to 20 marks, but none could or would earn it." So Mary and her government actually put up a reward for the apprehension of the person that had done this act of defiance, this act of rebellion. And they even increased the reward, to encourage people to, tell on their friend or neighbour that had done this awful act. But as Fox says, none could or would earn it, so nobody came forward. Now, I do hope that the cat was already dead before it was dressed up in these vestments and had its feet tied together with this piece of paper between and hanged on the gallows. I know I'd have trouble dressing any of our 3 cats in vestments. They'd suddenly become all teeth and claws if I tried to do that to them. So I am assuming that this cat was already dead, but I just don't know. It's a really awful thing to have happen. So that's what happened on this day in 1554, the 8th of April. A cat dressed as a priest and with the mockery of the Eucharist, with this piece of paper to represent the wafer, was found hanged on the gallows at Cheapside, a public display of defiance and rebellion in the reign of Queen Mary I. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Tudor goodies for you. Please do subscribe to my channel. You can click that button just down there, and if you want to be notified as videos go live, then you can hit the bell to be notified as well. But you can rest assured that there'll be a new video for every day 2019 as I bring you more on this day in Tudor history events. I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.